You know I've traveled near and far, see the shining sea. I've seen a lot of places and people that were nice to me. One place that's in my heart, and this is how I feel. I'm talking about my hometown, Fayetteville. She's nestled in the sand hills on a river called Fayetteville. Special to so many who proudly served our country here. She was named for Lafayette and known for cotton mills. I'm talking about my hometown, Fayetteville. My hometown, Fayetteville. I'm so proud to be from here. It don't take long when you're away from home to find out how you feel. It's always good to come home to Fayetteville. Babe Ruth hit his first one, heard around the world. Sherman marched with the Union and burned the arsenal. Old Market House still standing, but stands for freedom's will. I'm talking about my hometown, Fayetteville. My hometown, Fayetteville. I'm so proud to be from here. It don't take long when you're away from home to find out how you feel. It's always good to come home to Fayetteville. My all-American city, Fayetteville. Talking about my hometown, Fayetteville.
Well, good evening. I'd like to call the Monday, February 11th, 2019 Fayetteville City Council meeting to order. At this time, we ask that all would rise for the invocation, which will be given by Pastor Josh Goodman, Cliffdale Christian Center. And after the invocation, I ask that you please remain standing and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you all bow your heads with me? Dear Heavenly Father, God, we come before you this evening, God, and we declare our honor and our praise for you. And Father, as we just begin this meeting, God, we ask that you preside over it, that Heavenly Father, your wisdom, your will be delivered in this place. God, right now, in the name of Jesus, I pray for each one of our city council members, that, Father, they would operate in your will, in your wisdom, Father, for the betterment of our city, that, God, you would continue to strengthen them, to anoint them, Father, as they spearhead, as they lead us into the great things, oh God, that you have for our future. And Father, I pray for our mayor, that God, he would continue to move and operate, God, in your will, accomplishing each one of your desires, Heavenly Father, for this place. God, preside over this time tonight. Have your way in this place. Father, we love you. We bless you now in Jesus' name. Amen. Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Pastor, good to see you as always. I'd like to take just a few moments to tell us about your ministry and yourself.
Amen. I'm Pastor Joshua Goodman. I pastor at Cliffdale Christian Center. We're located directly across the street from Cliffdale Elementary School. Councilman Wright is my councilman, and got a great relationship with him. We are a multicultural, non-denominational fellowship. We have great outreach to the needy in our community, partnering with Southeastern Regional Food Bank, being able to give out to individuals who are in need in our community, goodness sake, nearly on a daily basis. And also we have Renaissance Classical Christian Academy, which is one of the only truly classical Christian academies in our city. And we can boast that in the past few years, we've had the opportunity to send 2 students on behalf of Cumberland County to the National Spelling Bee. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but hey, we got to send them, so that's pretty good. We can say that we sent one of our students to the National Bible Bee, and he did win $25,000 scholarship for his college career. So yeah, good stuff. And council members, Mayor, thank you for allowing me to bring the prayer this evening.
Well, I appreciate it, and he's always a faithful member at the monthly Coffee with the Mayor meeting, so thank you for your service, sir. At this time, I'll turn it over to Councilmember Jensen. She has a special guest with us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to welcome tonight, for the first time, we have Paige Diana, which I think is like a really cool name. And she is a senior at Cumberland Polytech High School. So welcome, Paige.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Paige Diana, and I'm a senior at Cumberland Polytechnic High School. I would like to take the time to tell you a little bit about the amazing project that our youth council is working on right now. This project is called Kindness Matters, which is a week that we spend doing kind acts to our peers and everyone else around us. Boards such as the one our member Cody is holding are posted in each school, and the sticky notes represent each kind act. We have involved the majority of Cumberland County high schools, and although today is the first day, it's off to an amazing start. This wouldn't be possible without your support to the Fayetteville Cumberland Youth Council, so thank you very much.
Thank you. At this time, we would like to acknowledge Man of Church, Pastor Fletcher. If you all will come forward, Pastor Chris Fletcher, Pastor Michael Fletcher, Pastor James Lewis, Pastor Jonathan Fletcher, and Pastor Riley Holliday.
I'll tell you what, I'm scared to bring these guys up here. I don't know. You should. Yes. All they got to do is carry 2 presentations, and they can't get that. So we represent the rest of the pastors at staff at Manna Church, and you may not realize that we're the 9th fastest growing church in America and the 76th largest church in the United States. And but that isn't because of the people you see here or the people on our pastoral staff. That's because of our serve team. That's what we call our volunteer team. So they actually wanted to thank you for allowing them the opportunity to serve in the city of Fayetteville, just to give their lives and serve. These people have jobs and they go to work every day and families and things. For instance, during the Florence, we filled 3,815 serve team slots, and they gave almost 15,000 hours of community service, never asking for a thanks. In fact, they're not here to be recognized. They wouldn't even want to be here. They sent us to present to you a serve team t-shirt that many hundreds of them signed, thanking you for the opportunity for them to be able to serve in the city of Fayetteville. So, Mayor, we have one for you. City Council, you have to share the other one. But anyway, I guess our hands got tired of signing. But they love Fayetteville. They love being here. Many of them are military or they're retired, and some grew up here. It's just a mix of people who love this city and trying to make it better, and I think they're doing a great job. So thank you for giving them the opportunity to do so. We're here to deliver that message and to say honor to you guys. Thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you, Pastor. And you can't get off that easy. You guys are doing an amazing job in our city. I mean, and you help us to be successful. You know, a lot of times when we show up in neighborhoods, particularly after Florence and after the flooding in Hollywood Heights, you know, it was a swarm of red T-shirts and led by Manna. So thank you guys for what you do, and I definitely want to stand up and give you our appreciation.
we'll go home and tell the serve team that y'all gave them a standing ovation.
Yeah.
They're going to take a picture with you, and the mayor's going to take a picture. He's coming down now, but I just wanted to say we took a tour during the Florence storm. Some of the council members went to your church, and we just saw an awesome outreach from your people. You were sending out. You built showers over there. I mean, outdoor showers was awesome. You had beds. It was just. You guys did a great job. We were blown away with the volunteer after the storm that you guys, had an impact in a great way on the residents of our city, and we're forever grateful to Manor Church for what you did.
Ditto.
There are many others, but
Ditto.
you
None of that
guys
was
did.
us. It was all serve team members' ideas, seriously.
You did a good job, Mike. That's with the CERT team. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Kathy, you just might as well just stay down there.
Get behind me because you're much taller.
Tighten it up a little bit.
I'll turn this way a little bit.
Can you see? Can you see it? Right?
Oh, Big Mike. The runningest man, he and his wife, are the runningest couple.
Okay, engineers, we'd ask you to come forward, please.
Here.
The best engineering department in the state of North Carolina. Okay, we have a Office of the Mayor proclamation for Engineer Work Week, whereas engineers use their scientific and technical knowledge and skills in creative and innovative ways to fulfill the current and future needs of the citizens of the city of Fayetteville. And whereas engineers face the major technological challenges of our time, from rebuilding towns devastated by natural disasters, cleaning up the environment, to ensuring safe, clean, and efficient infrastructure systems such as roads, bridges, dams, sidewalks, stormwater control systems, environmental enhancements, and traffic measures that will advance our city into the future. And whereas engineers are inspiring the next generation of local engineers to explore technical fields, realize the practical power of their knowledge, and consider the prospect of leading their talents to service municipal employees. And whereas we look more than ever to engineers and their knowledge and skills to meet the challenges of the 21st century. And whereas throughout the nation, the week of February 17th through the 23rd of 2019 is being recognized as National Engineer Week, coinciding with George Washington's birthday, our nation's first engineer. And now, therefore, I'm Mitch Colvin, the mayor of the city of Fayetteville, North Carolina, and on behalf of the city council and more than 208,000 citizens, do hereby honorably proclaim February 17th through the February 23rd, 2019, in honor of engineer work, with the theme, Engineers, Event Amazing. Signed, Mitch Colvin, Mayor.
I would like to quickly take the opportunity to invite you all to our first engineering fair, which will be hosted here in City Hall next Thursday, February the 21st, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to have vendors that are going to be here, which are consultants that have provided services to us in the past for some of the projects that we have built in our community. And we're also going to have presentations that will be hosted here in the council chambers about specific projects. And it will be a great opportunity, a great event, in which this time it is our opportunity to then provide back as an outreach opportunity to the community, to be able to provide them a little bit of what happens behind the scenes for all the projects to get done. We are very grateful for the opportunity that you give me and the rest of the team to be able to serve the citizens of Fayetteville. Thank you.
Thank you.
Which light?
All right, council, we'll move right into our agenda tonight. Item 5.0 is the approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda, Mr. Mayor.
I have a motion by Councilmember Arp, second by Councilmember Wright. Any discussion on the motion? All right, look to you for your votes. Madam Clerk, that is unanimous. Motion carries. Item 6.0 is the consent agenda.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I would like to make a motion to pull item 6.06, Coban Council workload and percentage split, please.
Okay. Any other items from consent? Councilman Dawkins?
Motion to approve the consent agenda, pulling 6.06 and also 6.04, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. So there's a motion by Councilmember Dawkins to approve consent with the exception of items 6.06 and 6.04.
Second, Mr. Mayor.
There's a second by Councilmember Art. Any discussion on the motion? All right, Council, I'll look to you for your votes. Madam Clerk, that is unanimous. And we are joined by our Deputy Clerk, Ms. Jennifer Ayers. Ms. Pam is not with us tonight. But motion carries. Start with 6.04. Councilmember Dawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Deputy City Manager Bauer, I had some questions for you about this. I want to make sure that I understand. This is our Senior Center East, and the total budget is $11 million, $5.5 million from Fayetteville State University and $5.5 million from the city of Fayetteville, or I wanted to first ask that question. I had about 3 questions, Mr. Mayor.
That's certainly correct. Of course, that's not on the agenda tonight, sir.
Okay, but that's that was in the verbiage that I read. There's about 32 plots, or there are 32 plots of land, and this resolution is going to be between the city of Fayetteville and Fayetteville State University. Would you explain what the plan is once this memorandum of understanding hopefully gets approved?
The memorandum of understanding has already been approved and executed, sir. That approved memorandum divided up the responsibilities between the parties for acquiring and contributing property. Fayetteville State and its the organization that works with it, its foundation, already owned more property in the area than the city, so they're acquiring fewer lots than the city has to acquire, but we're contributing about the same value of land to the project. So we're acquiring property, 3 of the properties which are on the agenda tonight. 2 that are under the management of the Public Works Commission, 1 that's owned by the county and the city through a foreclosure. We're asking the council to authorize us to write letters to the county and to the Public Works Commission officially requesting them to transfer those lots to us so they can be contributed to the project.
All right, so in reading the verbiage, there's 3 parties involved, the city of Fayetteville, Fayetteville State University, and Fayetteville State University Foundation. Is that true?
That is true, because the foundation is one that actually owns most of the land in that area.
All right, and then so this is preliminary before we actually build the center. How is the center's has it going to be owned or divided? Is the foundation going to be a part owner? Is the university a part owner? Is it going to be equal ownership? I want to understand what percentages, or if we're that far yet.
According to the MOU, we will all of the property will come to the city to be subdivided. It'll be subdivided in 2 parcels. 1 development parcel for the FSU under their ownership, and 1 for the city under its ownership. So there'll be separate development parcels, separate development projects. So they'll own their land and their building. The city will own its land and its building. We will share some facilities like parking and stormwater control.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, motion to approve the joint Fayetteville State University.
We have a couple more questions, Councilmember Dawkins. Councilmember Chris?
Mr. Bauer, the purchase of those properties, other than the ones owned by PwC and the county that we're asking for them to cede to us, the money for those properties is coming out of that 5.5 million?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. The second question then is that when we get to the infrastructure improvements, putting in the sewer and leveling the ground and all that, is that money coming out of the 5.5 million also?
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you so much. I guess I'm trying to say, be prepared
Yes, sir.
for exceeding the 5.5 million. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Council, any other questions? Councilmember Dawkins?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion to approve the joint Fayetteville State University Wellness Senior Center MOU property transfer request.
Second.
So there's a motion by Councilmember Dawkins. I think I heard a second from Councilmember Hare.
You can give it to the.
Okay. Okay, he withdraws. Councilmember Culleton, his district. Any discussion on the motion? All right, Council, I'll look to you for votes. Madam Clerk, that's unanimous. What is that? John Henderson. Oh. Right. All right, motion carries. Item 6.06, Councilmember Hare.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, during our work session, we had a discussion about co-bond council workload and the percentage split, and the discussion that came up that was approved, that went forward, I think it was, 80-15? 80-20, and I had made an earlier proposal of 60-40 for us to sort of follow the percentage that our PwC bond council is doing. Tonight I just want to reintroduce and maybe just have a discussion, or like to make a motion that we consider the 60-40 bond council.
So just for the listening audience who may not be tracking everything, the city of Fayetteville issues bonds periodically, and we use a bond council. The city council made a conscious effort to use local businesses anytime we have an opportunity for services or for purchasing, and so they employed a local company, in this case, a local attorney's firm, to serve as co-bond counsel. When we initially did this a few years ago, we set the arrangement at 85% to 15%. So the city's about to issue a new round of bonds as a part of the Parks and Rec funding for the next round of projects. And the discussion tonight is to whether to keep at the rate of 85% to the main council, 15% to the co-council, or some other figure. And I think that when we initially talked in the work session, there's a consensus for 80 or 20. And what Councilmember Hare is referring to is that just recently Public Works was issuing bonds, and they moved that percentage arrangement to 60% to the bond council, 40% to the co-bond council. So, council, with that, that's a good summary for the public. I'll open it up for discussion. Councilmember Wright.
Mr. Mayor, to be consistent with my recusal on the work session, I recuse myself from this vote.
So Councilman Wright is asking for a motion to recuse from this particular item.
Mr. Mayor, motion to recuse Councilmember Wright from this discussion and vote.
There's a motion by Councilmember Arp and a second by Councilmember Chris for recusal. Councilmember Wright, any discussion on the motion? All right, council, we'll vote on that matter first. All right, Madam Clerk, that's unanimous by those voting. All with the exception of Councilmember Wright. So Councilmember Wright is recused. Councilmember Hare, anything else to add to?
No, sir, other than I put my motion on the table to to change that bond to that split to 60-40.
Okay. So council's up for discussion, as I stated in dinner, whether it applies to this particular issuance or not. I think in everything that we do, we've got to have the spirit of trying to build local capacity. And so with that, Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so was there a second to Councilmember Harris' motion? Second. The second by Councilmember Chris, and so now we're at discussion, so I'll pick it up. So, I guess whatever the decision is tonight, I think that, as we continue, I think we've made a significant difference in our local economy by, redirecting what we can locally, and the building capacity. So, the motion's on the floor. That's my 2 cents. Councilman Dawkins, you have.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Madam Attorney, I had some questions. Is this what we see across the state of North Carolina, a 60-40 split, or is it generally an 80-20 or a 75-25? I mean, is it based on experience, I'm assuming?
I'm going to let Mr. Jay Tolan, your new Chief Financial Officer, come up and respond to these questions.
Poor fellow, we just voted on him and approved him, and now we're slamming him with some tough questions.
He can handle it.
He's got bangs.
He's got big shoulders.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Just like the mayor said, PWC's, their last issuance was 60-40, but typically you see it from 95-5 up to 70-30. But that, I mean, PWC's was 60-40, the last issuance they did, so.
All right, and I'm assuming these bonds are sold, or we go to New York. I mean, this is done on Wall Street. I know Darswell Rogers is here, and I know he probably has some experience on that. Is that what we generally see in these 10, 15, 20, $30 million?
It can come for wherever you it's all automated through an online platform. So the bank could be from New York, it could be from Charlotte or Atlanta. But usually most of the key players, like the attorneys and the advisors, are all here in North Carolina. And then it just depends on the bank that selects to buy the bonds where they're from.
I did not know that. That's good info. Because my dad used to fly to New York, and they did a big bond presentation to a bunch of underwriters, and then all of a sudden somebody would commit to $25 million to loan it to the city based on the interest rate. So now it's more automation and.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Councilman Culleton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is this the split that you see on a broader national level being 85-15, et cetera? What is the strategy behind that, do you think?
For one thing, I've only looked at statewide. I did not look at it nationally.
Statewide,
Yes, sir.
Can you comment to the strategy that may lend itself to a split like that as opposed to a more even split of 60-40? And is this a breakdown of what does that split really mean? Is that a workload that they're taking? Or?
I cannot speak to each individual case. Like when we talked about it, usually the governing body sets the split, and then the attorneys work with each other and how the workload is split, and the fee obviously follows the number, but then the total amount is set between the two of them. So there's no template, I guess, that really falls the split. It's between the two firms.
I'm just going back to our discussion we had on this prior, and recalling that this was born out of a interest in the higher carrying percentage firm having more skin in the game to kind of take that lead role. And I was looking at whether if we do a more even split, if that's going to have any negative effect is what I'm looking to get at. And you're not able to answer that, but that's what I recall from our work meeting. That's why I was bringing it up.
Okay. Well, I think both Karen May can speak to this a little more. Both council and co-bond council have to issue legal opinions, I think, at the closing. So I think they distribute the work according to whatever the split is. That's something they work out. But if you're finished, I'll go to Councilmember Chris, then Waddell.
Well, I just wanted to bring up what I think is correct, and the city attorney will correct me if I'm wrong. But there is liability, whether you're the main counsel or the co-counsel. The liability is the same if you mess it up. And I think that that's a relevant point, I believe.
Thank you, Councilman Chris. Councilman Waddell?
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilwoman, pardon me.
That's all right. Thank you. When is the last time that an RFP was issued for bond counsel? I have 2 or 3 questions. That's the first.
We did the in 2016, it was for local co-bond counsel. I'm not aware of when it was done before that.
Okay. So maybe I only had one question and I have a statement. If the objective or the will of the council is to help build capacity and open the door for other firms to be able to compete and be bond counsel eventually, I would think that it may be counterintuitive for us to simply talk about an increase in percentages. I think that the conversation would be more steered towards making sure that once we are opening the door for people to come in and get acclimated with what the business is of bond counsel, we are then making sure that we are opening the door for people to come in and be able to compete for bond counsel. So I just want to understand, and I thought maybe this was where Councilmember Culleton was going, but I'd like to understand what the process looks like in shifting from bond counsel for 2 or 3 years, or co-bond counsel for 2 or 3 years, to potentially bond counsel. What does that look like aside from an RFP being issued? I did have a third question. And once that process is identified, were we talking about opening up an RFP to look for new entries for bond counsel?
Yeah, that was the direction I felt I received from the work session, was the split, whatever it's chosen to be, and then looking at the RFP for our next issuance.
So what does that process look like when you have someone who has been bond counsel for a number of years? What is, in theory, if you can speak to this, and it may not be something you can speak to, but in theory, what was the preparatory period supposed to look like, and what was it building to? Does that make sense, what I'm asking?
Yeah, I guess you're asking, okay, how long were we going to have co-bond counsel until they kind of took over, or we're in a place to bid to be the lead counsel? I think everybody's kind of hit the nail on the head. You want to build a local capacity by working the split behind the lead, and then we can open it up for the lead bond counsel and see how the RFP process goes.
Thank you, Councilmember Waddell. All right. So, council, we have a motion on the floor.
Mayor, I had my light.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Councilman Hart?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So just for clarification, what we're voting on tonight is simply bond counsel for the Parks and Recs bond issuance. This is not a change to our policy or direction in the way that we've been handling this. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So simply tonight, we would change what we had proposed in our work session last week from an 80-20 split to a 60-40 split.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, and PwC currently has that ratio for their bond counsel for what the work they're doing. That's correct?
It was the last issuance. Each issuance, so like for our Parks and Rec, there'll be 3 issuance. So we'll do this process for each issuance. And so the last issuance that PwC did late last year, it was 60-40.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, and Council, I'd be supportive of this proposal, but I think we need to go back and look at a long-term policy for how we want to do this in the future. Thank you.
All right. So, council, I guess Mr. Hare's motion, the Hare-Chris motion is on the floor for the 60-40, so it's time to vote. So
That's a vote, sir.
all right. Right, that's everybody. All right, Madam Clerk, that motion carries. Those voting in favor: Crisp, Arp, Colvin, Jensen, Hare, Dawkins, and Waddell. Those voting opposed: Culleton and Moan. So motion carries 7-2. Thank you.
Thanks, council, for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Tola. All right, council, we'll move to item 7.01, annual report from the Audit Committee. Are you Chairman Rogers tonight, or are you Mr. Rogers from the Audit Committee?
Strictly from the Audit Committee. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. I'm pleased to be here, and I will thank Councilmember Chris for appointing me to chair, or nominating me, I should say, unbeknownst to me, to be the chair. But it's been a pleasure. So today, what I'm going to do is talk about the last fiscal year and the work of the Audit Committee. That's simply a redundant slide. So let me give you a little bit of background on the audit committee for the audience, if they're not aware. That basically the committee was formed in 2018 September, and was really to fulfill the responsibility of helping the city council with the stewardship of the city, and really helping your outstanding internal auditors in making sure that the findings that they establish and the recommendations are in effect followed. The council, this audit committee meets a minimum of 4 times a year, and it consists of 8 members. The voting members you see is listed here, and then there's 2 non-voting members that are also listed. We currently have 1 opening on the committee. I also want to acknowledge the work of some other people who served on this committee during the fiscal year that are also listed on this slide. What I want to share with you now is the actual work that got done during the fiscal year. During the fiscal year, there were 7 audit work plans that were identified and approved by this committee. 6 of them were brand new audits, and 1 of them was a follow-up on a prior audit. Of those 7 projects that began during that fiscal year, we completed 4 audit reports and issued 41 value-added recommendations. And the ones that were completed are listed here. Let me digress for 1 second and just clarify the notion of an audit. You're looking at financial as well as reputational as well as operational questions in terms of that's what the audit is the purpose of the audit is. And then really the key in terms of this audit committee, in terms of the value that they bring, is after those findings, after that report is issued, the audit committee reviews the progress that those departments are making in terms of the implementation of the recommendations. So to make sure that if there was something uncovered that should be improved upon, that stays in front of the audit committee until those improvements have been satisfied. And then after about 6 months of them having been satisfied, then the committee goes, then the auditors go back in to reconfirm that what we thought had been improved, I should say, in fact was accomplished. And so that's effectively what the committee does. Aside from the fact that we do this sort of audit work, we also approve the annual fiscal audit that is done by your external auditors. And so that is something that goes through the audit committee before coming to the city council for final approval. And that really is the audit report. Does anyone have any questions? Sure. I'm going to allow your auditor, who'll do a better job than me, to explain that.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So what that means is when we issue an audit report, we provide recommendations, but we work with those departments when we provide those recommendations to ensure that it's something that they can actually implement. This is where the Office of Internal Audit provides the value. If we were providing recommendations that the departments did not concur with, then we ask ourselves, what value would we be adding? So that's important to our office, to understand that they do concur with what we're recommending, and it's something that they can implement, but will also satisfy the findings that we had. So with that being said, we had, with the follow-up audit for procurement card, we just report back to that audit committee what we saw on the original audit report. For contracting policies and procedures, we had 3 findings that were all concurred. The confidential funds, which is an annual report, we had 2 findings that the departments concurred. And then the evidence and property management with the police department. That originally started out and was approved by the audit committee for just the cash portion of our property and evidence at the police department. But when the chief came in, she wanted to do more of a change in management audit. So we went in and took a deeper dive into that property and evidence and did a complete audit of the property and evidence unit, and we issued 36 recommendations in that area, and they all concurred.
And the point I wanted to make, Mr. Mayor and Council, is that these recommendations, when we say value added, it means that those recommendations enhance the operations of those department and divisions that were audited. In terms of the recommendations coming from the audit team, here's how you can better improve your operations or your accountability of funds and all. That's what, I want to make sure you understand what value-added recommendations meant. And 41, that's a lot of recommendations. Thank you so much, Mrs. Summerdike, and thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. Dodgewell Rogers, for allowing me to railroad you into the chairmanship. Thank you.
All right, have a couple more questions. Councilmember Arpin and Dawkins.
So, Ms. Summerdike, first off, and Mr. Darswell, thank you for the report, and it is positive in its findings. But I do have a question. When you have a finding, you say you like to build consensus and you like for them to agree. How do you adjudicate a finding where they don't agree?
We did have one, and it was more in relation to an IT audit finding when it came to internal controls. But we do, when we go in and we work with the departments, when we go in, management knows as we go along, we're auditing to their policies and procedures. These are their policies and procedures. We're looking for...
So that's the key point I wanted you to make. These are their policies and procedures, and they should be following what they've laid out for how they're going to conduct business.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. That's where the majority of the time, if not, I think it was 98% of the time, they did concur with what we recommended.
So if you do find something and there's an issue, they can go back and revise their policy or procedure?
And that's exactly what they do, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And that's to include in strengthening their internal controls also within their policies and their procedures.
All right, thank you.
Or it goes to the city manager, and if it can't be resolved there, then it comes to the council.
All right, Councilman Dawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also wanted to thank Chairman Rogers and the entire committee, and especially Mrs. Summerdike and her two other auditors, Rose and Tracy, for their work. Being on the committee and seeing what you're doing, and then having the different department heads come in and say, oh, okay, yes, I agree with that. We need to implement that. So auditing to me is not really exciting, but it's something that has to be done. And I'm very pleased with what you've accomplished, Ms. Summerdike, and thank you, Mr. Rogers, for stepping up and agreeing to chair this committee, because it was like herding cats, and you did a very good job, sir. And thank you, Elizabeth.
All right, Councilman Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to say to Chair Rogers and Ms. Summerdike and your team, as we sit there on the committee and see the in-depth of your inspections and how the police department and those that have been audited works well with you, I concur that this is probably one of the most important committees that we could have to oversee these important factors that really results in a more well-tuned machine, if you will, internally. And so I just wanted to commend you all on the work, and also the committee, a job well done. And also Chief Dawkins and how she, Hawkins and how she, and how she, not you, yeah, he thinks he's the chief, though. But absolutely, a job well done from the police department, and adhering to all of those results is fine, and to work well with correcting all of those findings. So thank you very much.
All right. Council, we need a motion to receive the report from the audit team. Thank you.
I move to accept the report from the audit committee for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2018.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Crisp, a second by Councilmember Wright. Any further discussion on the motion? All right, Council, I'll look to you for your votes. Madam Clerk, that is unanimous. Motion carries. This time we'll enter into our public forum. This is the time that any Fayetteville resident may have input and a voice in what goes on in their city. Due to policy restrictions, the forum will not last any longer than 30 minutes, and each speaker will be limited to only 3 minutes to address the City Council on issues related to the City of Fayetteville. Individuals wishing to speak at tonight's public forum should have signed up with the City Clerk prior to the start of tonight's meeting. If you are here to speak on items that may be on tonight's agenda under the public hearing, we ask that you reserve your comments until that public hearing. So when your name is called by the clerk, we ask that you would come to the podium. Please clearly state your name and home address for the record. Then when you see the light located on the podium change from green to yellow, it means you have 30 seconds to speak. When you see the light turn red, it means your time has expired. Again, due to policy restrictions, we are unable to extend the given time. With that being said, Madam Clerk, if you could call your first speaker.
Yes, sir. We have 5 speakers. Our first speaker is Mr. Bill Bowman. Mr. Bill Bowman. Mayor, our next speaker is Miss Harmony Sells.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Harmony, and I'd like to apologize for the last time I was here because I kind of got a little stumped and couldn't quite speak. But it's the same reason that I'm here again.
Miss Harmon, can you give us your address, please?
I forgot it. I just moved, so I really don't have one. Okay. Unfortunately, but it's still in Fayetteville.
Okay.
So no, but I'm really trying to strive for this taxi council. We need to be able to work with the city of Fayetteville. I mean, if the taxis are going to be registered and have a sticker on the back of the taxi that says City of Fayetteville, well, how come we're not talking to y'all? There was a council before, but it really was just to vent and discuss minor details of what's going on out there on the streets, and if someone got rode up and things like that. Well, like there's one inspector now, and he really doesn't have a lot of time to tend to the taxis, and so it's a real need, because there's a lot of things going on in the taxi community amongst the drivers that really needs to be addressed, and things are just slipping underneath the rug, and some things really need to be taken care of, and everything, and let us work with you so you know what's going on. You know, I mean, don't just have a bunch of people with your name on their permit and you don't know what they're doing just because they passed a background check with the fingerprints and everything. I mean, at least you know who they are. At least you know that they're human. But I think the city of Fayetteville lost a lot of money because a lot of people have quit and things like that. And I really think Fayetteville needed that money and wanted that money and deserves that money. And there's a lot of ways to raise funds for things going on right here in Fayetteville. And the main people that you need that really want to do that stuff is right underneath you, so to speak. But, of course, City Clerk has my information, and I appreciate the time, as usual.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk.
Mayor, our next speaker is Imam Aranami Mohammed Smith.
The Honorable Sir.
Greetings, everyone. With the name of God, the beneficent, the merciful, praise be to Almighty God, the Lord of all the worlds. I will be hurrying through because I have to get my time used expeditiously. I am Imam Iran Muhammad, founder of the Fayetteville Muslim community here, Imam Iran Smith Muhammad. And we founded the Muslim community in 1970. You can reach me 2700 Murchison Road at the brand new Masjid Omar Ibn Said, built here in Fayetteville before Charlotte, Raleigh, and all the rest of them. We're super good. We've had the visitation from Saudi Arabian Prince to our Masjid Omar Ibn Said, who also helped us build the Masjid Omar Ibn Said. Clearly, the Legislative Black Caucus, my team, wants us to understand, do all you can in your city, in your town, and they will help you. But they really suggest you don't come unless you do what you can do. My favorite State University Broncos won a basketball game Saturday night in a thriller in Manila, overtime. It is time for the City Council to come out and support Fayetteville State University, our students. They're some of the best and the brightest in the country. We live in Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, which is the second Pentagon in the United States of America. And Iran Muhammad also helped start that with help from the Secretary of State, Elaine Marshall, and helped do some of the building contracting out of Fort Bragg, because many of the Texas corporations were doing hundreds of millions of dollars of work at Fort Bragg, but were not paying taxes. And we refused to accept that. The baseball stadium built across the street here, some of my good work, part of downtown economic development, as well as the transportation hub. They come from the Durham, North Carolina baseball field, baseball stadium there, as well as the transportation hub. E. Smith High School also needs your visitation. My work includes many, many things, including on Wilmington Road, 700 brand new apartments that were built by the Legislative Black Caucus, President Barack Obama, as well as funding from block grants from Bill Clinton. Here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, you see Bryant Hall and Vance Hall at Fayetteville State University. 700 students have been put off campus. We've got to get serious. We've got to bring them back. And I would not let anything stop me from that process. The Fayetteville State University Board of Trustees clearly got information from me for the past 25, 35 years. Ownership, Fayetteville State must own 51% of all properties, all of it. We want to make it real simple, including the Bronco Shopping Center here built by me and others. The naming of the baseball stadium, the team, and all of that, I really don't care about that. My job is to build a thing and let the people come. They're happy. But understand clearly, when you name something, get a well-known big name like Babe Ruth. I know Bill Hurley. I work with him. We need bigger names, not little names. Thank you very much.
Mayor, our next speaker is Mr. Robert Walls.
Hi, sir.
Evening, council members, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to request the establishment of a civilian oversight committee for the Fayetteville Police Department. I have security footage where they have watched people threaten people in front of them and done nothing. Security footage of police officers
Can you give me your address, sir? I'm sorry.
1436 Valencia Drive. Security footage of police officers saying, do what you need to do. We'll just come back with body bags. That's unacceptable. As an American in your all-American city, I'm appalled. As a veteran in your Soldier Sanctuary, I'm heartbroken. That's all I have to say. If you need video footage, let me know.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, our final speaker is Mr. Jerry Reinhold.
Mr. Rhino. Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Well, you know, yeah, and Councilmember Art already knows your address by heart, but I need you to repeat it too.
516 Deer Path Drive.
Mr. Mayor, Distinguished members of the Fayetteville City Council, good evening. My name is Jerry Reinhold, 516 Deer Path Drive, Fayetteville, North Carolina. The Fayetteville Red Light Camera Program, designed and managed by American Traffic Solutions, Inc., was recently cited by the North Carolina Board of Examiners for Engineers and Surveyors. Following their investigation on November the 29th, the North Carolina Board of Examiners for Engineers and Surveyors notified American Traffic Solutions, Inc., that they may be in violation of North Carolina General Statute 89C. The document and link are in your packet. A troubling December 2nd TALUS software opinion on the licensing problem is also provided. On December the 10th, WITN News reported the story. This is a short audio clip of their report.
Installing red light cameras in several cities in our state, including here in the East, may have been doing so without proper licensing.
The State Board of Examiners for Engineers and Surveyors says that they believe that American Traffic Solutions could have installed red light cameras without an engineer approved by the State Board. The board issued a statement late last month saying that American Traffic Solutions may have been practicing or offering to practice engineering or surveying without being licensed by the state of North Carolina, the State Board. That's a violation of the general statute. ATS has installed red light cameras in Fayetteville, Wilmington, and Greenville.
The City of Fayetteville Architectural Engineering or Surveying Services webpage specifies firms doing business with the city must be registered as required by the state of North Carolina. ATS may be in violation of their contract with Fayetteville. Old data on the Fayetteville Red Light Camera Program webpage reports 33,621 citations issued through May 2017. I'm concerned that ATS may be exposing the city and ultimately we, the taxpayers, to significant legal financial risk and request your urgent attention to this matter. You may need to turn off the red light cameras. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, we have no further speakers.
All right. That, we'll move to item 9.01, the amendment of the garage contract with Hay Street Development Pad LLC. Mr. Bauer.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Christoph Bauer, Deputy City Manager. Brief presentation on this topic. So what we have in front of us is we have a contract with the Hay Street Development Company to build the garage for us. When we do work for construction, the city doesn't pay sales tax. We're reimbursed by the state. So normally when we pay a pay application, we have the sales tax listed separately. We pay it and then are reimbursed by the state. So we don't account for it, doesn't move through our fund, our appropriation. This contract is a little unique in that we're both contracting with them to build and also purchase the contract from them or the parking deck from them. So it was a little unclear about whether we could manage it this way, the same way we do all the other construction projects. So after working with the city attorney and with our finance department, we thought that we just add a little language to this to make it clear that to the extent that we are reimbursed for our sales tax, that we would treat it the same way we do all the other construction projects. We've added that language to the agreement. You do have in front of you a slightly revised version of this, which I passed out earlier today, which just simply removes a typo. There's one other typo in here as well. The date at the top says 2/18, it should say 2/19. So we'll be making those revisions before it's executed. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
Mr. Bauer, I do have a question. I see Councilmember Dawkins is as well. Explain this in a little more detail. So basically, we entered into a contract. You're saying when that was done, sales tax was not calculated into the amount that was offered to us to bid this thing?
That's correct. And it's just similar to the way we do all of our others. For example, the stadium contract, you look back at the presentation, we deducted sales tax off to the side, so it's not included in the best and final. So when we do
concrete, it's 7% sales tax. So you're saying we're tax exempt. So so this is amending the contract to reflect
that we're tax exempt.
Okay. All right, Councilman Dawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, so the way I understand it is, just taking as example, concrete service company here in Fayetteville supplies concrete, and then they charge sales tax to this management LLC.
The way our contract works with the LLC is the same way that it works with any other construction company. They give us a pay application, and we pay that pay application up to a contract maximum amount, which is stated in the agenda item in front of you, 14 million, whatever it is. You've got it right there. So when we get pay applications, we have them list the sales tax separately. And for all of our construction contracts, we pay that, and then we're reimbursed by the state. So that sales tax doesn't run through our budget appropriation because it's just a straight pass-through, and it's reimbursed. In this case, because of the unique way we're acquiring the property, it was a little unclear about whether we would be able to handle that sales tax in the same way under this contract that we do other contracts. So we added this provision, or proposing adding this provision, just to make that clear, that we can handle this sales tax the same way we do others. In your scenario, the guy goes out and buys concrete, he has to pay sales tax. He puts forward a pay application, he says, this is how much I paid for the concrete, this is how much I paid in sales tax. We pay the entire amount, we deduct the sales tax out when we're reimbursed, and we move on, just like we do with other construction projects.
Okay, so that parking deck is going to be owned by the citizens of Fayetteville.
Absolutely.
But we have a contract with a separate LLC, PCH possibly, or it's a...
Hay Street.
It's called what?
Hay Street.
Hay Street.
That's right.
Okay. And is this going to require a budget ordinance amendment?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, council, any other questions for Mr. Bauer? All right, entertain a motion to approve or not.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve.
There's a motion by Councilmember Wright to approve the amendment to the garage contract for Hay Street Development. There's a second by Councilmember Dawkins. Any discussion on the motion? All right, council, look to you for your votes. Councilman Hare? Okay. Madam Clerk, that is unanimous. Motion carries. All right, council, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Mayor, before we leave, can I say, I would like to introduce Miss Weaver's class from Reed Ross. They came to a civics class. Raise your hands. I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge you at the beginning.
Thank you
Thank
all
you.
for coming. All right, motion to adjourn.